Good evening and welcome to Highlands Astronomical Society. My name is Eric Walker and I'm the chair of Highlands Astronomical Society. It gives me great pleasure tonight to host our 2021 annual general meeting on Zoom webinar. Now I'm just about to share a screen because I'll be talking from a PowerPoint presentation. Now, normally, if we were at a face-to-face club meeting, this presentation would be shared amongst 2 or even 3 people. However, tonight, you're going to have to put up with yours truly for the full half hour. Now, the format of this is I'll do this welcome and introduction. I'm then going to go through the highlights and the annual report for 2020-21. We'll then go through the 2021-22 proposed operating plan and some ideas for the future of the club. We'll then take you through how you can approve or vote for the content of the AGM, and then we'll close the meeting before we go into the main meeting. If you have any questions or comments you want to make at any time throughout this presentation, please use the Q&A option and submit it there. Rona, our club secretary, she'll be collecting those comments and questions, and she will try and allow about 10 minutes and we'll try and attend to any questions that have been submitted. However, any that can't be answered or commented on live, we will discuss them at committee and we will respond to them if necessary. But please use the Q&A option. Now, 2021. We all know it was a very unusual year, and our club, like many other clubs, not just astronomy clubs, was put under severe pressure last year, and we had to take very drastic actions in order that the club even survived. I'm very pleased to be able to tell you that it not only survived, but it actually prospered. The main reason that the club survived was that we were able to adopt technology. That was the core element of us surviving. We used Zoom to hold our monthly club meetings online. We were also able to combine various technologies which enabled us to webcast lunar and deep sky observing sessions at high resolution and with interactive chat between our attendees. Nothing short of admirable. That was a major game changer for us. We also effectively used social media. We used Facebook, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and YouTube. They were all absolutely key in communicating with existing members and with people who were interested in our club. We thought public outreach had it. We thought external talks had it, and we thought science festivals had it. However, again, with the use of Zoom, with YouTube, Facebook Live, Highlands Astronomical Society was able to conduct public outreach. We were able to talk to various organizations and groups, and we took part in a couple of science festivals and also National Astronomy Week. We managed to keep ourselves in the frame. Also, last year, in the very first few months, we were extremely concerned about our financial circumstances. We had money still going out of the club, and we only had a very limited number of members had rejoined. But as the year progressed, our online efforts, they tapped into a previously unseen source of new members. we got new members joining, and they continue to do so. We actually had an inquiry 2 days ago and we're processing that one as well. We are now at the membership levels we were pre-pandemic. The interesting thing is the demographics of our membership is changing. We have, on average, much younger members, and they're much more au fait and comfortable using social media. Unfortunately, though, we also lost members. And the main reasons for that were living in remote parts of the Scottish Highlands. Quite a few people have lack of access to technology, mainly good quality, high-speed broadband. Some people are just unable to effectively use the technology, and also this type of format just doesn't suit some people. The world has changed, the world has completely shifted, and it's like the old adage, once something's been invented and it's been used, very hard, well, it's impossible to uninvent it. And once you've used it and got comfortable with it, you tend to keep on using it. Although not a highlight, but a very important fact, we also lost one of our long-standing members and stalwarts of our club, Arthur Milnes. He was almost an original member, and he played a major part in the assembly of our first observatory up at Culloden, and also in the maintenance of the present one. He served as vice chair and chair. He was active in organising the annual Christmas quiz, and as well as the raffle, and that's played a major part in managing our funds over the years. He often led the breakout groups, and he was especially keen in imparting his great knowledge and his enthusiasm to beginners. He had a passion for space and flying, and he gave several talks on these subjects. He will be sorely missed. If I now go to the official reports, what I want to show you here, this is the statement of receipts and payments for the last 2 years. And I'm going to draw you down to the income. And you can see the big difference between 2019 and 20 and this year, 2021. Last year, we had receipts of just over £4,000. This year, £1,800. Now, this year, we haven't received our gift aid so far, so that's got to come. There's about £450 due for this year, so that will come. But the big thing you will see is fundraising is down. We're not having any, we don't receive funds, we don't have buckets going around, people don't contribute to that. And also the raffle. The raffle is a big player for us. Where normally we take in £400 a year, we were 33 simply because we couldn't have any more meetings. That plays a big factor in what we can do now and into the future. Of course, that was offset by our outgoings. Our outgoings were reduced considerably. The church did not ask for any retaining fee, and you can see here the venue costs were lowered by £800 compared to last year. We also have our speaker expenses. They are nearly, well, in fact, they're fully £500 less as well. Now, it's interesting because that really showed up how much we actually outlay on our venue and on our speaker. It's it actually works out in total about £1,800 a year. That's a rather large amount of money to be spending on that one particular area. So it's something we're going to have to look at for the future. You will notice as well, however, that there is nothing for the observatory ground rent, maintenance or electricity. That has got to come through yet. And in fact, I know there's a bill has actually come through for that. So there is a bit more to go in there. But all in all, we managed to offset the lack of income by a full £2,000. So that's all managed and it's all accounted for. At the end of the day, we have in our funds £2,800, and there's the closing balances. Last year we had £1,885 at this time. This year we have 2,800. Now bear in mind, £1,500 of that is set aside as a static fund, in case we need to replace equipment in the observatory, for example. But we have £1,300 of fluid funds available. It's very important to us. And bear in mind as well, we have some fees which have not been paid yet. Also, we are anticipating that when we go back into the observatory and look at it, that there will be things needing replaced. We are pretty sure we're going to have to replace the set of steps outside. So we have been very prudent in making sure that we have enough cash funds set aside for us to be able to do that. If we look at our operating plan for 2021-22, our main income is from our membership subs and the gift aid also arising from that. Donations, fundraising down to an absolute minimum that we know we're going to bring in. We have nothing for the raffle. So there is the bare minimum income we're going to have for this year. We had to make a plan, we had to make assumptions about how we were going to operate this year, and we are going to continue to operate via Zoom right up to and including December. We intend to have face-to-face venue-based meeting for January and February, and those costs have been built in. Our insurance is a given. We have to do that whether or not, whatever we do, we need public liability insurance. We have put in observatory ground rent, maintenance and electricity. It's higher than normal because of the lack of payment for this year, but we can cope with that. We've done that. We have to upgrade our website. I'll speak more about that later. And speaker expenses includes the subscription to Zoom webinar. And again, I'll speak more about that later. In all, we've got about a deficit in the operating plan of about £300, but bear in mind, we had 2,800 set aside. So we're fine, and we can cope with any unexpected outgoings that we may have once, as I say, we get back to the observatory, for example. Oh. Now, the key points of the financial plans is the committee we have tightly financially managed the club. We really have tightly managed it this year. We have set aside both static reserves and cash reserves to enable us to cope with any unexpected demands in the short term. We have also identified that we need to increase the static reserve from £1,500 to £2,500, mainly due to the fact our equipment is aging and increased replacement costs due to various factors. However, we're not proposing to increase that money in one single year. We're proposing to phase it in £500 increments, £2,000 at the end of this year and £2,500 at the end of 2022-23. That enables us to ensure that we have enough operating funds, enough cash, in order that we can still operate viably as a club. We've also established that technological ways to hold our monthly club and committee meetings, and also have our online observance sessions, which you're able to attend and participate in. They have been successful, and that's currently our preferred way of doing this, but we are reviewing how we're going to go about in the future, and it will probably be a blend of that and face-to-face. Sigma are unable to continue providing the Zoom webinar facility for our use. So we as a club are about to obtain our own Zoom webinar facilities. Fortunately, we have found out that because we are a registered charity, it will enable us to cost effectively purchase this resource, and we have actually found that we can purchase it for about 40%, 41% of the cost if you weren't a registered charity. So that's us levering our charitable status thing. Right. Someone else we identified, we have our website. It requires immediate updating and replacing. It's outdated and it doesn't have the functionality required of a modern website. But more importantly, it's insecure and it's highly likely that search engines such as Google will cease to list it. We are only using the front page, the contacts page, and information about joining and things. The rest of the website has been ignored up to this point. And in actual fact, someone recently pointed out we've actually ignored it to a point that there's a couple of erroneous pages and things and information that we will have to just have a look at that. But we will be updating our website. We continue to look at ways we can involve and encourage you as members to continue your own practical astronomy. We've sent you information about observing targets, challenges, information about astronomical events and such like. And we have been using the technology I referred to earlier, WhatsApp groups, emails, Facebook, YouTube, monthly club meetings. You'll be pleased to know we are maintaining the membership subscriptions at the existing 2021 rates. To help us out, if members could please pay your full annual subscription promptly, and by promptly, I'm asking if you could do it by the end of April 2021, that would really help to ensure we are financially secure. I showed you the accounts a few slides back, but those are paper accounts. It's the cash in hand that we require. We've got a few bills that are going to have to be paid immediately. And if we can replace those outgoings by income, your membership subs, that seriously would help us. So if you could do that for us, I'd be very, very grateful. Regarding people, we will have a vacancy on the committee available immediately, as Paul Jenkins has intimated he's leaving the position after this AGM. We are also going to have another vacancy on the committee after October 2021, when Rona Fraser embarks upon a trip to Antarctica to view the solar eclipse. Rona is also club secretary, and we'll be discussing that particular position at the committee. We were hoping that she could perhaps carry out her duties when she was traveling to Antarctica, but as someone pointed out in a Zoom meeting I was involved in, Antarctica's probably got less comms than Mars does at the present time. So we'll allow Rona to have her trip. Very important to the club, we urgently require to identify members who have skills which can be used to support our Club Zoom webinar, our live observe and webcast team, and also our website development and update team. These requests are for functional support. You are not required to become part of the committee, unless you, of course, you want to. They're for functional support to help us. These type of things are good fun once you get involved in them. And if you do have some skills or you're interested in learning new skills, I want to be part of a very focused team, please let us know and we will gladly take you up on your offer. This is the bit I really like. This is my special thanks to people. Sigma, you guys have been superb. Thank you so much for providing, sharing, and technically supporting the Zoom webinar resource all this year. You didn't just do it for us, you did it for several North of Scotland amateur astronomy clubs over the year. We are truly grateful for that. That kept all our clubs heads above water. And I mentioned Paul Jenkins is retiring from the committee. Paul, there's a story here, and I used it as in an introduction when he gave a talk. He was passing through Eastgate Centre in Inverness one day, encountered our stall, approached us, and that really, really triggered his interest in astronomy. He became a very active member and a practical observer. He's been on the observing team for goodness knows how long. He served continuously on the committee as far as I can see, including chair and treasurer. And he's given us several wonderful talks and presentations to us over the years. I remember his latest one about the Voyager probes, and also one about time where he used the change in temperature and entropy as a measure of time. Wonderful, wonderful visual effects and talks. Paul is still a club member, however. But Paul, thank you for everything you've done for us. Lorraine Shepherd. Lorraine is our new membership secretary, but Lorraine has been so active over the last year, it's hard to think of her as new anymore. She keeps a close watch on all the important numbers and works very, very hand in glove with Andy Brofer, treasurer. She introduced us to the effective use of WhatsApp, and that really has been a game changer with us. And she has a wonderful nothing is impossible attitude, very useful in times of change like this. Dave Davidson, Dave's vice chair, and he has been my partner in crime, who was key in getting these live observing webcasts off the ground. He kept me going when I thought we were just coming up against the brick wall, but he always gave me support. And he's got a wonderful local accent and dialect, which comes over great when we're doing our live webcasts right enough. Rona Fraser, our club secretary, you will all know her for sending her frequent and interesting links to all our and others' online meetings and events. She also very recently, I've put it as encouraged all the committee members to get their annual report done. And so much thanks to Rona, because you really have made a great job of this again. Andy Brofer, treasurer, he calmly keeps an eye on all our finances, and he just nice, calm, steady hand on the treasure and on the tiller, and he reassures us all the time we're all okay. And Pat Escott, who's undergone our own turmoil and changes in life, has recently moved house, who in this new world continues to source excellent speakers for all our online monthly club meetings. Pauline McRae. Pauline continues to prepare and present my favourite bit of our monthly club meetings, the club news, astropicks, targets, constellations and things. And Pauline is a very pragmatic and steadying influence in changing times. And two people who don't always get mentioned, Jerry Gatens, our observatory manager, and Anthony McEwen, our enthusiastic amateur astronomer. These guys work tirelessly in the background. They respond to a multitude of queries that come in from Facebook, our website, WhatsApp, and email on the more practical aspects of amateur astronomy and observing. I want to thank all of the committee. This really has been an especially difficult year, and the coming year looks like it will also be difficult. Without your committee, there wouldn't be a club. And yourselves, of course, all the members. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you to the new members. I hope you stay with us. The future is going to be exciting. It's going to be different. And without our members, there wouldn't be a club. Now, you've read the annual general meeting reports. I have presented the annual general meeting and reports. And it's essential that we can prove to the Scottish Charities Regulator, OSCAR, that we have achieved an annual general meeting quorum. Now, we have agreed with OSCAR. The way that we will do this is by our members responding to the email that Rona sent with all the AGM stuff. Could you reply to Rona's email acknowledging you have received all the information? Also take the opportunity to submit suggestions, comments, concerns, and constructive criticism for your committee. And if you could do that within the next few days, that really would be appreciated. Right, I've now got a short question and answer session, and hopefully some people have put in some comments and questions, and Rona is going to chair that. Rona, do you
Can you see me? I don't know whether I can't see myself, but can you hear me?
I can see you and I can
All
hear you,
right. Oh, I
Rona.
can't see me, so that's fine. Right. There's no questions in the box, I don't think. There
Okay.
probably, and can I encourage, as Eric says, he means nag. I had to do a lot of nagging. Yes, if you could please email me, or I will be resorting to nagging. Um, yeah, sometimes it's required. No, there's no questions at the moment. Everybody's happy.
Okay. No, it's just that we do have to prove to Oscar that
Yeah.
we have had a quorum
At,
AGM.
at the moment, I have 15 replies to the report, and we need about 21 to get a quorum. So I need another 6 of people to reply to me. They don't need to say anything, just say that they've got the AGM report and they're happy with it.
Yeah,
That's all they need to
I've seen a couple of the responses,
Mhm.
Rona, and there are some very encouraging
Yes. Mhm.
suggestions and constructive criticisms that have come through. I think they're going to be very, very useful for helping us, reshape, things. So I would encourage people to do that. Okay.
They don't. Some people have difficulty filling in the form. All they need to do is they don't need to fill in the suggestion form. They just need to email me saying they've received the report.
That's a
And
good point, Rona. That
yeah,
makes
yeah,
it, that
yeah,
makes it very easy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Eh,
if there is no questions and answers,
No, there's nothing.
I just want to remind you that the main meeting proper will commence about 7:45. Just keep this Zoom link open and you can come back into it in a quarter of an hour's time. If you do happen to close it, just click on the same link and you'll get back in, no problem. But everyone, thank you very much for attending our 2021 annual general meeting. I hope to see you in a few minutes. Clear skies. Keep looking up. Thank you very much.